And are we live?
I see the live timer. That's cool.
Yeah. Hi everyone, welcome back to Alice on the Giant Bookshelf. Welcome back to the Plodalong. If you are here, let us know in the comments because we are here today. We've got Charlie, we've got Gem as always, and we're very, very excited because we have our very special guest, the lovely Shelly Swearingen.
Yay! Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. These are great.
We do have, see if I can operate banners today, because we do have one.
Cool.
And it says, welcome, Shelly.
I feel so welcome. This is so great.
So thank you for coming, Shelly. And yeah, we will ask you some questions.
Yeah, this is
so to kick us off, we've been asking everybody the same question. And that question is, what was your last 5-star read by a woman? Shelly?
I think I was prepared because I was like, I know. But I think that it was probably The Secret History by Donna Tartt.
Nice. Very good choice.
Which is, I think if it was written when the Women's Prize was going on, I think it would have been listed for the Women's Prize. But she predates the Women's Prize by a few years with this book. But it was really good. I'm shocked it was a debut. Have you all read it?
Yeah, I loved it.
It's on my list.
It's on your list?
It's on my list.
It's on your list. It was just so good. It's really about a group of friends that are completely unlikable and have every reason for you to just despise them. And in a weird way, I think they kind of work on you a tiny bit because you get attached, and like I think you really want them to do well, but then sort of along the lines, it's also a murder mystery, and instead of it being a whodunit, it's a whydunit, because they're just like, so-and-so was murdered, and that was on it's on like the first page, and then you're kind of like, why? And then you devolve into what Donna Tartt does best, which is sort of like paranoia, and I don't know. How would you all describe it? I feel like I'm not doing a great job, but
I read it ages ago.
I don't know. I read it a very long time ago, but I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, and it's got a lot of ties to like Greek mythology and like studying the ancients, and then having that snobbery behind you, but then also feeling almost like an entitlement behind the snobbery. So it was really good. It was really, really good. Yeah.
Have you read any more by Donna Tartt?
I read The Goldfinch.
That's right. That's the one I was trying to think of, because you really enjoyed that one, didn't you? But it's the one that people don't gel with as much. Really?
Oh, I'm surprised that they don't love this.
Is it slower, more plotless?
No, there's a plot behind it. Has anyone else read this?
Oh, that's the last one that I need to get to. I've read The Little Friends, but I haven't read The Goldfinch.
Okay. It is a bit meandering, but it is essentially about, I feel like the main character is almost like his soul or his morality is really imbalanced. And you watch him sort of teeter on either side of the good versus evil. But it's done so well because she writes these truly hateable characters. But in a weird way, you still kind of empathize with them. Like in a small way, I'm like, they're not fully evil, even though they kind of are, but they're really not. Like because I feel like she's really good at kind of sussing out the humanity, even in people that you dislike. So I liked it. This was good.
Cool.
Yeah.
I feel like we must be at the point now where it's nearly time for a new Donna Tartt book.
Yes, 10 years.
So she tends to produce one every 10 years. So
that'll be a really exciting time on BookTube. Everyone's going to be like scrambling to get to it.
Yeah. Right. I'm going to see who we've got in the comments today, if we can operate comments. I'm not holding out a lot of hope for myself because last time we had some technical issues, but we've got Kelly. Hi, Kelly.
Hi.
And Anita says hi to Shelly.
Hi, Anita.
And we've got Kate. Lots of our regulars in today. Hi, Kate. And Glenda says hello, ladies.
Hello.
If I've clicked on that, I'm not sure.
Mark. Hi, Mark.
Oh, Mark. Hi, Mark. not Glenda at all. Let's try again for Glenda. Hi, Glenda. We've got one of our recent guests, Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
Love Jennifer.
Yes.
We've got the lovely Kit. Hi, Kit. And Glenda also says hi to Kit. And we've got Ellen, who said good morning, but I may not have clicked on her comment.
No, that's Jack.
He says hello.
Hi, Jack. Hi, Ellen.
And Sonia.
Hi, Sonia.
Oh, hi, Sonia.
So I think nearly got the comments. And we've also got Sandy. Good morning, Sandy.
Oh, hi, Sandy.
And we've got Violet Willow Tree. Hi, Violet Willow Tree. If I've clicked on that, which I have, yay.
You have clicked on it.
Folios.
And
Says salutations. So hello to everyone. And do let us know what you are planning to read today. It seems like a very long time since the last plod. But yeah. So Shelley, we were going to ask you as well, before we get to the really, really important question. Have you read any of the books so far from the long list?
Yes, I just finished The Marriage Portrait.
Ooh.
By Maggie O'Farrell. Yeah.
How did you get on?
I quite liked it. Now, I'm one of those few people that I have not read Hamnet. So this was my first Maggie O'Farrell. And I really liked it. I thought it was well done, well plotted, and it had a great twist at the end that I really didn't see coming. I just thought it was it was really well done. I'll just say that. Who else? I know Charlie's read this, and Alice, you've read this?
Yeah.
And it's on my bedside table, unread.
It's a pretty quick read. Actually, this book is odd because in Across the Pond, you all have a version that's like 400 pages.
Yeah.
Right? Mine is like 330 pages.
Is your writing small though?
No. No,
maybe
yours
is just right. Yeah.
Ours,
I know the writing you write it is bigger, isn't it? I'm sure.
I don't have it on me, but ours was really large print, I would say.
Yeah, it is really
very well spaced.
Okay.
lots of
away from the margins.
Yeah.
Away from the margins.
Yeah, because when I was Gemma has it. So
yeah, it's massive font. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right. Ginormous.
we're all like looking at each other's screens. But the reason why I mentioned this is because everybody when people like in England, when y'all are going through your list, you're like, oh, there are two chunkers on this list, The Marriage Portrait and Demon Copperhead. And I'm like, The Marriage Portrait isn't very long. Like, why is everyone saying that? And then I realized that the discrepancy is like 100 pages. Like you guys, it's like a 400 something page book for you all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for us, it's 330.
Yes, literally.
It wasn't a quick read, like you said, though. It was a very quick read, like you said, though.
It's super fast. Yeah. And so I feel like that, sometimes big books pull people in, or big books kind of put people off, depending where you're at. And I felt like this was such a more, like 300 pages, 300 little and a bit. It's so much more approachable than the 400 plus. So I just wondered why there was such a discrepancy in the printing. But anyways, that was neither here nor there. I just thought it was so weird.
I do think we're winning the cover war on this.
I like mine better. I do.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Because it's all about this portrait. It's all about this marriage portrait. And so, yeah, I'm sorry.
Controversial.
I know. And then like my sweet friend Anita, who said hi, she was like, I don't like snakes. And I was like, me either. So I guess I really like my cover.
Well, whoever designed it obviously nailed it for American audiences.
Yeah. It was kind of interesting. I don't actually love the tiger stripes, but I understood why they're there. Anyway. Yeah.
Cool. So, shall we ask Shelley the controversial question and get it out of the way?
This is
because we know that all of those people who've just said hi to us are only here for this question. It has proved to be true.
Hashtag Pizzagate.
Yeah.
So, Shelley, what we would like to know, please, is your favourite pizza topping?
If there is one topping, it's going to be pepperoni. Now, if there's more, usually I'm kind of like a garden veggie gal. Like I want like olives and mushrooms and onion. Like I want all, but then if it's just one, I'm like, it has to be pepperoni. Because it's so tasty.
Classic.
Yes.
Classic choice.
That's how I'm also a mom, so I'm a crowd pleaser. I'm just like, who will fight the least over the pizza topping? Yeah.
This is it. Oh, thank goodness. There is one normal person.
I think you come top of the Pizzagate then. Of all of the guests, you're probably top of our pizza.
Yeah, you're winning the pizza wars.
I really think when we initially discussed this question, I do not think Gem thought it would take us so long to get a guest who said pepperoni. Or just anything within the spheres of what Gem wanted to hear.
Or just anything normal.
Anything normal.
I didn't realise controversy that happened.
Figs on his pizza last week. Figs. Who puts figs on a pizza?
Oh yeah, I heard that. I was like, oh, okay.
Pineapple. Good God.
I froze. I did a screenshot on the moment that Eric said about it. I screenshotted the moment when Gem's face is like. It was so funny.
I love it.
Dear. I feel like future guests are probably just going to come on and wind us up and say weird stuff so that we can get more faces out of them.
You're going to be like microgreens. I like microgreens on my pizza. And you're going to be like, okay.
Yeah,
what even is a green that hasn't been allowed to reach its full potential? Is that basically what microgreen is?
I just think of them as little greens. They're just little.
Honestly,
like basically cress on a pizza, Gem.
Which is fine if it's mixed with like proper toppings.
So we have a few more comments. We've got Jack says, not women's prize related, but starting a Bowie biography for people April. Nice.
That is a very Jack choice.
It is. And Kit has got 23 pages left of the Bandit Queens. Only got the marriage portrait left after that, and I'll finally be done with the long list.
Wow. What an accomplishment.
That is really good. How are you getting on with Bandit Queens, Kit?
Yeah, let us know. Sandy is also not reading a women's prize book, reading Light from Uncommon Stars by Rika and Karika Aoki for Trans Girl April. That was on my TBR as well. Haven't got to it yet. Of course. And Jack says it's also on her TBR. Are you enjoying it, Sandy? Let us know. And Kelly has ordered the UK version of both Demon and the Marriage Portrait. Also this week got a hardback of Pod for $4, which I'm hearing is about what it is worth.
Well, I'm not sure it's even worth that, to be honest, Kelly, but...
You're zipping your lips, Charlie. She's like, not saying anything.
So just on that last comment, Alice, why don't you share with the group your opinions on the new paperback cover of Demon Goblin?
Oh, dear. Right, so for a little context here, first of all, Gem has been worried about me because I have been ill last week. And she was very relieved that Salty Alice has made a reappearance at the abominable cover that I have seen for the paperback version of Demon Copperhead. I'm very upset about it. I will not be buying the paperback.
We'll try and find it now.
It is not good.
It's horrific.
I'll show you if I can find it.
I have been extremely salty about this travesty.
Yeah, and then your mum had to run out and buy you a hardback version.
My mum has gone out and bought me a hardback. Thanks, Mum, if you're here.
I literally ordered the hardback that very within minutes of Alice saying about it. I was like, no, I'm not getting that paperback, and I ordered the hardback as well. Can you see? I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, it's just not good. Why?
Oh.
Why?
It's just
Well,
gross.
Such a gorgeous hardback with like sort of, it's like a sort of weeds effect, isn't it?
It's beautiful. It really is. And the
Gorgeous,
gold in
gorgeous
it,
book.
and and then that's what
And
you
then
get for the paperback. Who designed that?
paperback, they've designed Kid on a Bus. I don't even remember Demon going on a bus. Well, maybe once or twice.
Apart from like obviously with his red hair and all that, it's just
Oh, not a fan. Not a fan.
Mm-mm.
Not good.
Sandy has said she's enjoying her book so far, but she's only on page 28. And Jim has popped in to say hi. If I managed to click that, yay! Hi, Jim. And what has Kit said? Good to know. It's a quick read. I was a bit worried about it being such a chunky book. Yeah, it does go quickly, definitely. The Marriage Portrait. And we've got Ellen is reading The Push by Ashley Audrain. I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah. It's a sort of psychological thriller about a mother.
Oh, I do remember the cover now. I'm clicking it again. There we go.
it goes on there.
Oh, now Jack has asked, will you be recreating the Marriage Portrait cover, Shelley? But I believe you've already sort of done this. You've dressed up
I did the
as
painting.
Yeah.
As the portrait, and I'll probably do the cover whenever I have a minute. Because they sometimes the it's not the picture taking and the picture editing that takes the longest. It's all the typography and trying to space it all right. So anyway, so I'll just do it when I have like a spare hour, whenever that happens.
So if anyone has missed this, if you've been on another planet, Shelley does a wonderful series on her channel of shorts that where she recreates some of the covers of recent books.
Thank you. Yeah,
do go and check that out, because Shelley's channel will be linked in the description today, and it's a lovely little series of shorts.
Thank you.
I think
I saw
Lolita.
Oh, Lolita, yeah.
That was a good one.
Thank you. Yeah, that was fun.
I literally only saw it this week. The Marriage Portrait.
Yeah. That was good. They're fun. They're just fun. So, okay.
Oh, we could have another pizza topping. So we have field of forest mushrooms with anchovies and parmesan. Maybe an egg. No tomato sauce.
Okay, I was with you up until the no tomato sauce bit, and then it's not a pizza anymore.
Yeah, I thought that too. I was like, isn't that just a flatbread with toppings on it?
Mushrooms on toast.
You can't say that, Gem.
It is mushrooms on toast. Which I also do love, but it means that it's not a pizza.
Elizabeth says hi. Hi, Elizabeth. And Jim's just reopening up the discussion.
You're gonna get kicked off, Jim. Sorry.
You're gonna get kicked off.
And Jack has said, I would eat figs on a pizza. I would try figs, definitely.
But then Jack eats bacon in a milkshake, so I don't think we can really trust her judgment here. So
oh man.
And chorizo is a good choice if you don't have pepperoni too. This is true.
Agree. Hard agree.
I like a spicy pizza personally.
Just trying to troll you now.
Jack.
No.
Stop saying the things, Jack.
She's just drumming everyone up.
Pizza in your bacon milkshake, Jack, just to make it a bit more disgusting.
And Sonia is actually going to be sewing instead of reading. Fantastic.
Sonia, you haven't sent me a picture of any of your quilts lately. I need to know what they look like.
Oh, that's lovely. What are you sewing?
Quilts. They're so cool. They're really amazing.
Yeah, let us know what you're sewing at the moment, Sonia. We'd love to hear. And Kate is going to be reading, or is reading, To Paradise. How are you getting on with that, Kate?
Yeah,
that is very chunky. And Kit is loving Bandit Queens, doesn't take itself too seriously, which is refreshing after reading the rest of the list.
Hard agree.
Okay. So before we have any more comments, shall we ask Shelly our final question?
Oh no.
Is it time for the challenge? Let me just see if I can get rid of the banner. Right. So, Shelly, I believe you have watched some of our episodes, and so you may already know what is coming next. We have our Women's Prize Challenge, where we would like you to name in 30 seconds as many Women's Prize books from any year, and you don't have to say the author, as you can.
Okay.
Do you feel ready for this challenge?
I do.
Shelley looks really ready. Like she's been trained.
I know.
I'm confident.
I'm feeling good. I'm hoping I do well.
Excellent.
You have to count me down.
We have Charlie on the timer today, and Gem, you're going to be feverishly writing down books, hopefully.
Yes.
So, are you ready, Shelley?
I am.
We'll count you down from 5. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Home, How to Be Both, Hotel World, Wolf Hall, Bring Up the Bodies, The Mirror and the Light, Circe, Song of Achilles, A Little Life, Hamnet, The Marriage Portrait, The Dog of the North, The Bandit Queens, Wandering Souls, The Poisonwood Bible, Lacuna, Piranesi. Oh.
Very good. I'm impressed.
Thanks.
I did not get all of those down, and we're going to have to like.
We're going to have the count up when we go to a plod, but I made it 17. But I wasn't writing, I was just counting.
I made it 17 too. I was counting.
A very good score, if so, Shelley.
If they 17, that would put you in second position.
Jennifer had 22.
22.
That was really good. That's really
good. Score.
I may or may not have practiced, by the way.
I love that.
You did very well. Nothing wrong with a bit of practicing.
Exactly.
So, on that note, shall we go to Plods shortly? So let's just see what a few more people are going to be reading. Oh, I haven't asked Charlie or Gem if they've finished any Women's Prize books this week.
I think since the last time I was on here, I've finished The Dog of the North, and I've also finished one I really liked, which was The Black Butterflies. So Dog of the North, I found it, even though I loved it when I was listening to it. I know loads of people hate this one. I loved it as I was listening to it, but it's very, like, I'm going to be honest, I've forgotten most of it, like even like a week later. And then Black Butterflies is dark. It's not dark. It's obviously set in the wartime, so there's quite a lot of trigger content warnings of it, but it's really, really, really good, I thought. So, yeah.
Okey-dokey. And today, I don't know if anybody's starting something different. I'm going to be starting Cursed Bread. I haven't actually got a Women's Prize book on the go as yet at the moment, so I am going for this one. I'm up to 8 now. I finished Stone Blind in the last week on audio, which was really good. I did enjoy that quite a lot. Although I do agree with Gem that the best bit is definitely Medusa's story.
Yeah,
even more Medusa.
Yeah.
Charlie, aren't you almost done with the long list?
2 left.
Okay.
2 left.
That's what I thought.
I think Kit's ahead of me.
Kit is ahead of you.
Definitely. So, don't know whether these comments are coming up or not.
They are.
Anita is going to be reading The Secret Scripture by Sebastian Barry. And Elizabeth is halfway through Cursed Bread and still not sure what to make of it. Interesting. So I literally haven't read a word yet. I'm about to start it. And Jennifer is about halfway through the audio of Children of Paradise, enjoying it despite all the toilet references. There's a lot of toilet references in that book. A lot. And Violet really enjoyed Children of Paradise, did not like Memphis. Okie dokie. And Rosa is almost done with Wandering Souls. It's okay, I think. Reading Children of Paradise after that. And Jack says Bandit Queen sounds great.
Yeah, the audio is brilliant as well, Jack. The audio is really well done.
I think that's one I want to reread as well because I liked it that much.
Yeah.
We've got awful paperback cover. I agree. Rosa loved Bandit Queens, so much fun. Anita says UK cover for Demon Copperhead. I'm getting confused now. Demon Copperhead hardcover is better than the US cover.
Yeah, the US is the white one, isn't it?
All right, but I just really like the UK one. We've got Bandit Queen, really good. Glenda's having trouble getting any women's prize books. She's on hold forever.
To be fair, on the same, I put a load on hold on the day that it was announced, and not one has come in yet to the library.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I've got the opposite problem because I've now got Cursed Bread and Bandit Queens out of the library, and I've got Dog of the North and Trespasses waiting for me.
Oh wow!
So you crack on, mate. Crack on.
Spoiled for choice.
I know.
Anne is also reading Demon Copperhead. Just finished Pod, which I really liked.
Oh,
interesting. I would love to hear more from you, Anne, about what you liked in Pod. I really liked the character Google. I'm still thinking about Google. Justice for Google. And Glenda says, ew, that paperback cover is awful. My grandchildren are way better.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
And that is the first positive view of Pod I've heard, which is nice because I really want to try it because I love the bees. Yeah. I've actually heard since we last spoke, I've heard quite a few positive reviews of Pod. Gemma's face is just making me laugh.
You know what? Everyone's got such different taste. It's good that like we've all got a mixture of different people to talk to.
I mean, I know what I love about the fact that we all have different ways of looking at things.
I thought it was really interesting that the Women's Prize, in their announcement, I think they were like, we have a book for everyone. And I was like, but the opposite is true. It means that everyone will also hate a book on the list.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's, I mean, if you're not like so, like just so okay with, all your reading, like if you're just somebody who just loves everything, if you're not like that and you do have some nuances in your taste, then I was like, surely the list is going to offer up something that you just really despise because they have such an eclectic list. So then I was like, it makes sense to me that somebody would really love Pod while someone else really doesn't like it.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
And this is the joy of reading, right? That everyone gets different things out of books.
Yeah.
So I quite often just like books that you like, Shelley.
Wait, what?
I quite often just like books that you like. Was it your favourite book of the year the other year? The one by Rabbi Alameddine?
Oh yeah, you didn't like that.
I hated it. I thought it was awful. It was your best book of the year, and it's like, oh no.
I love that book. I love it. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
But I could see, like, I had read the critiques about it, and so I was like, I could see that. But even though I could see it, I was like, I still love the book. Still love the book.
You're allowed to defend your favorite book choice.
Right.
No, because I know what it's like. Because with Seven Rings of Marley Almeida, loads of people hated that, and I'm like, I don't care. I love that book. I'm like, so.
Oh yeah. And then I know what you mean, and I'm like, or I'm just like, just because I didn't like a book doesn't mean that they're someone's a bad person for loving it. I.e. Scott. Sorry, Scott. So if you're watching, but yeah, I mean, because he's we just have opposite tastes, but then it's almost kind of hilarious when you're like, oh wow, oh wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know someone could like that.
This is even Scott, who I agree with on most books. He DNF'd the Poisonwood Bible and Demon Copperhead, which are two of my most beloved
he DNF'd, what was it? That Lonesome Dove? I was like,
yes,
what?
right.
I mean, I haven't read it, but I was like, everybody loves that book.
Yeah. So even Scott isn't perfect.
Oh. Yeah. Don't worry. I mean, y'all know that my pal is Frasier, and there are times where I'm like, I just like, why did you like it? I don't understand.
It's more fun though when your best friends hate something you love. I think that's the most fun thing because then you can really get into it.
Yeah, because then you don't really hold back. You're just like, so what part of this actually worked for you?
And then I think there is also that book that you don't want to recommend to people because you love it so much and you don't want your friend to say they hate it.
I know.
My special book.
I know. But I try so hard not to be like, it's nothing personal, but now I've just realized that you have bad taste. But it's okay.
Absolutely. So, shall we go to a plod? Because I do feel like we might have been talking for a while. And it might be time to do some reading.
Yeah.
Everybody. So let's take away this. Let's see if I can.
Oh, what is Shelly reading?
I'm going to start Wandering Souls.
Oh,
yeah. Partly because it's Charlie's favorite. I mean, it's still, last time I saw it was your favorite. And then I don't know if it still is. Okay. And then and it's only like 100 pages. So I was like, I could do that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Gemma, are you on Demon Copperhead?
I am. I've only got 100 pages left today. Now.
Oh, not bad.
I'm getting there.
We might see some crying on camera.
Oh.
Yeah. I did, just a side story. I finished Goodnight Mr. Tom yesterday, and I was reading it at Charlie's swimming lesson, and I was crying at the side of the pool.
Oh.
I had to get away. I was like, I can't go. I was like, don't look at me. Sorry.
Oh, no.
My tangent.
Oh, that's awesome. I love when books do that, though.
Yeah, but not at your kid's swimming lesson, mate. There's a time and a place, that ain't
it.
True. Charlie, are you starting something new as well?
Yeah, I'm going to start Trespassers. But last time I started it, I had trouble with it, and I put it down because this is like probably the first one from the Women's Prize long list that apart from the ones I've already read, obviously, that I tried to start. So I'm a bit like about it.
Fingers crossed. It goes better the second time. So we are going to have a 20-minute reading plod, and we'll see you in 20 minutes. Happy reading.
Happy reading.
Happy reading.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh,
How did everybody get on?
well, I checked, and Shelly did indeed get 17. So,
Yay.
Exciting.
second position,
Woo!
which is
Very
handy
good.
because I have that there on the table. So.
Round of applause.
Exciting. Thanks.
Excellent.
So you have to read the
Yeah,
leaderboard
bless.
then. So who's on the leaderboard? What's on the? Is it? So you've got.
So we've got Jennifer first, and then
Jennifer.
Shelly, then Charlie and Scott in third, then Eric, Sarah, and Fraser at the bottom. So you can mercilessly rib him.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
So yeah, how did you get on with Wandering Soul, Shelley?
I like it so far. It's very fast paced. It's different than I thought it was going to be. So, have you read it?
No, not yet.
Okay. Yeah, it's
I know that
definitely
there's,
like.
I know that the one thing with this is that there's not a huge loads of characterization, which I know people do say about. So like bear that in mind.
But it's really interesting though, because it's talking about the refugee experience in a way that I just didn't expect. It's very creative, so I think it's going to be fine. I mean, I got through about 25 pages, so yeah.
Nice.
What about you all?
How did you get on, Charlie?
I was really pleasantly surprised because obviously, like I said, the first time I tried to read it, I was like, I couldn't get into it. It just shows you've got to be like, if you're in a different brain space, how books come differently, like affect you differently. Because this time
Yeah.
it felt like almost like a completely different book to me, and I enjoyed it. I was enjoying it so much more. I'm not saying it's going to be a favorite. I don't know that yet because it's too early. But yeah, really pleasantly surprised.
And Gem, how about the last 100 pages of Demon?
Yeah, well, I didn't read 100 pages, obviously.
No. I wasn't
But
expecting
yeah,
that.
no, I just love being with this character. I just love him so much.
Yeah.
I kind of now don't want to finish it because then it will be finished.
I love that
So,
feeling.
Yeah. I've been
I'm
dragging
going to
my
reread
heels.
that
with it.
one. As soon as
Yeah,
my
I think
hardback
I'll
one
read
comes in, I'm going to reread it.
I loved him. I thought he was just such a good character.
Yeah.
And I think you've said, Gem, that you thought it was like the best first person narrative. And
Yes.
it really, really is. I thought it was amazing.
Mm.
And I
Yeah.
love first person narratives, so I have read a lot of them. But that was absolutely amazing.
There's just little things that she puts in, just little mannerisms in the way that he talks that just make you just love him.
Yeah.
So, have you read it, Shelley?
No. And it was on my list of like, I was stubbornly like, I don't want to read it. But now you're making me kind of want to read it. So
Have you read any Kingsolver before?
I read the Poisonwood Bible and I got on with it fine. I really liked the first 3/4 of the book. And then near the end, kind of when she sort of, it's almost like that epilogue section that starts actually really more like the last 1/5 of the book. And I was just like, I don't know. And I don't know why that little bit sticks out to me versus the really good first like 4/5 of it. But it does for whatever reason. I don't know why. I don't know. I think because I really loved the girls, the sisters when they're just in the Congo. And then when she leaves the Congo, there's something about the magic was just lost for me.
Yeah, I can see that. It was definitely the weaker part. Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't that I disliked it, but I didn't really love where they had ended up. Even though I thought it was surprising. I was like, it didn't need to know all of that. I really just thought it could have stood alone, just the parts about the Congo.
Yeah.
But have you all read it? Has everybody read it?
No,
and
I really, really want to get to more Barbara Kingsolver now that I've read Demon, but Demon was my first.
She's like really, she's strong at characterization. She's
Yeah.
really strong at, she has these like chorus of sisters narrating their different experiences while being
Yeah.
missionaries in the Congo, and they all have very strong personalities and points of view. But yeah, just that little bit. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That can happen in books.
My mum has very recently got into Barbara Kingsolver massively, and I think she's now read like 6 of her books, possibly since like end of last year, beginning of this year. And her favourite is Unsheltered. So if anybody wants a recommendation for what to go next. She did like Poisonwood Bible, and she did love Demon Copperhead, but her favourite is still Unsheltered, apparently.
Interesting.
So, yeah. I thought Cursed Bread, haven't given enough time yet, obviously, only on page 16, but I really like the writing style. I just think it's really, really odd. Like, I don't know what's going on with it. Like, I don't know what's going on with it yet. We'll see. Need to give it more than 16 pages.
I do think as well with this long list, and the same as like I guess anytime you read a group of books together, what you read around it affects your opinion of that book as well. So obviously this long list has got, I'm sure we all agree, there's a lot of unlikable characters in this like group of books. And I think when I read Cursed Bread, I just read so many characters, so many books already with unlikable characters, and I was just like, and I thought it was going to be, and like I said, I thought the plot was going to be something it wasn't, and I was just like, for fuck's sake, this book, like this was like, sorry, it was just like, yeah.
I think unlikable characters definitely has to be one of the themes we've picked out this year, and like bordering on like not unreliable narrators, but like the whole question of how reliable a narrator is this in several of the books, I would say so far.
I definitely agree.
I'm just going to see what comments we've had, because I know I missed some at the end there. I think we were up to this one. So Anne loved both the bees and Pod and excited to see what Layleen Paul does next. And Jack says you can't knock bacon in a milkshake until you try it.
I think I can.
I knew you were going to say that. And Rosa just listened to an episode of the Bookcast Club where they discussed Pod, and one of the hosts really hated it and the other liked it, which was interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely going to be a book that people will have strong feelings about either way. I don't think it's like just a sort of sitting in the middle type of book. I think you'll probably feel strongly about it if you read it. Well done,
Glenda.
Yes. Well said. Pepperoni for Glenda as well. And we have a brief appearance from Sarah. Hi, Sarah. Can't stay.
I love that Sarah's bobbed on, even though she's got guests, just to say hello.
Like,
It's literally the sweetest. I love her.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
I am very, very glad that Sarah didn't hop on just to say Team Pineapple, because she did start that up last time.
She did start that up last time.
And we've not quite been able to forgive that yet. So Kelly is reading Afterlives by Abdulzarak Gurnar.
I really want to read that.
What's this
don't know
about?
what
Is
it
this a long list one?
It's on the BookTube prize.
Afterlives, yeah.
I don't know if it made it through, to be honest, but it's been on my radar for a while. I can't remember what it was about, but it sounded quite traumatic and miserable. So
surprise.
Your kind of book.
A surprise.
Is it fiction or non-fiction?
Fiction.
Fiction.
Mm.
So Foxfolio says, what? You've never had a Roman pizza Bianca? I have had one of those, actually.
What is that?
It's like no tomato on the pizza.
Oh,
So like a white pizza.
Mushrooms on toast, you mean?
White pizza. Bianca.
The posh word for toast.
And Sonia is working on Carnival Flower by Judy Niemeyer. I think everybody's just putting up books now with people whose surnames I can't pronounce.
I like it.
You're doing a brilliant job.
See what happens. I'm pretty sure I hold my breath for that whole 30 seconds every single time. Yeah, don't do that. That will be bad for your health. But yeah, it's a tense
It was
time.
impressive, Shelley.
Jack is very
Thank you.
impressed.
You made it look so effortless though as well, because it didn't sound like you were rushing, yet you somehow managed to get all those books out. That's the thing that I was thinking. I was like,
Because
Yeah.
my heart was like this though. I was like, oh my gosh, the moment has come.
you didn't look it. You were just like really calmly just saying the
So
names. I was like,
calm.
oh, my
Oh, that's not how I
Gracious
felt
me.
inside. So thank you.
Oh, more on the pizza Bianca.
no.
Hashtag pizza deprivation.
Right, I think we need to get Gemma
Really
and Beast
true.
Hashtag
try on the plods as well as the fig pizza.
it's not a pizza, it's toast.
hashtag cheese on toast.
Oh, another surname. That's
People are genuinely winding me up now. No, Jack says, I also have a couple of chapters of Empire of Gold by S.A. Chakraborty to read today. It's a phenomenal fantasy series. Thanks for the rec, Gemma.
You're welcome. I haven't read that one yet, but I will.
oh, okay.
I've read the first two in the series. Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
Jim's
You don't
reminding
forget
us
to click the like button.
to the like
Don't forget to
button.
click the
Thank
like button,
you.
everybody.
And Margaret Pennard has
Oh,
joined
hi,
us.
Margaret.
Hi, Margaret. We
And
are plodding.
Jack says hi to Margaret. And we have more pod commentary. Pod has been slated by so many people that it's making me really want to try it. This is exactly what happened to me and Jem. We had to finish this book as a point of like, we have to be the people who finish this.
I wanted to be the one that liked it, but I didn't.
No, I didn't.
Do you all watch Lena Norms, or do you know who that is?
I do know who that is. Yeah, she likes
really
Pod.
loved Pod. It was like her favorite so far, and I was like, I was being very judgy.
Yeah, I think was it the Over story she compared it to, but I haven't read that.
I
Idea
have it on my shelves, but I didn't. Yeah, I haven't read it.
Because she said it was like an under the sea, the Over story. So now I need to read the Over story, because surely there was another book like that.
Out of the sea version of it.
You know what? The Over story is beautifully written, actually, because I think I put it down about halfway through. It could have been for multiple reasons we put books down, but I know the writing was gorgeous. It was gorgeous. It's just
Was there loads and loads of rape in it?
Sorry?
Was there loads of rape in it?
Rape? No, not that I read.
About trees.
Yeah, trees.
So how's it similar to Pod?
I don't know. I think maybe in the way it talks about nature, maybe, because I think that's what she's saying in terms of, because obviously the whole thing of Pod is environmentalist. It's about environmentalism, isn't it? And then obviously the Over story is about environmentalism.
Maybe.
Oh, well, the Over story won the Pulitzer, so I tend to read Pulitzer Prize winning books like eventually sort of get around to it. So I own it, and so I know I'll get to it.
Yeah, I think you will enjoy it.
Okay, yeah, I've heard good things about it, so I don't know.
So Imogen has finished Demon Copperhead and starting Cursed Bread today. Me too.
Let me know how you get on with Cursed Bread.
And Margaret says, don't know any of these titles, just crashing for the chat in between. Oh, except Demon Copperhead. I heard that was good.
It is. Pick it up, Margaret.
Very, very good. And Anne has asked Fox Folios, have you read her book, The Bees? And Anita has asked us, which books do you think will make the shortlist? We are getting quite close to the shortlist now.
We are.
Only
10 days?
Yeah, maybe 10 days to go.
Oh, okay. Wow. I didn't realize we were that close.
So
I think I think the big names are gonna go through. So Maggie O'Farrell's The Marriage Portrait and Demon Copperhead. And then I think that I've heard really good things about Wandering Souls and The Bandit Queen.
Yeah.
So I think those 4 are kind of top of list.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd really like to see Bandit Queens go through. I thought it was just really well done.
I think Glory will make it, even though we don't want Glory to make it. I really think it will. I just can't see it because I feel like I hope it doesn't, but I do think it will make the shortlist.
I think Glory's going to go through.
Yeah. Oh, really? Wow. Okay. I forgot that it was on the long list. I forgot. I completely blanked it out of my mind that it was even on the long list.
Yeah.
But I guess it would be one of the big name, she would be a big name author too. So
yeah.
What were you gonna say, Gemma?
I was just gonna say I think I'm a Fan has quite a good chance of going through. Even though it's quite divisive, I think it's really topical. So I think it could go through on that basis.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised at that one. I definitely think so I sort of think that there'll be the big 3, which will be Demon, Marriage Portrait, and Glory. I don't want Glory, but I think it will go through. But I agree. I honestly couldn't say what the other 3 are going to be at this point. I do think I'm a Fan is definitely in with a shout for it just is something totally different, I think, to the rest of the list in what it's saying, although obviously I've not read half the list yet. Wouldn't be surprised
if Stone Blind went
through.
Which one?
I wouldn't be surprised if Stone Blind went through.
Interesting. I don't know.
I don't know what else will go through. What do you think, Charlie?
Yeah, I want Wandering Souls, obviously, because that's my favourite. And also, like I said, on the commentary on, like you were saying about the refugee crisis, and just in general about how people, the Vietnamese people were treated, it's just so well done. I just think it's brilliant. I want that one.
And like you say, it's so relevant now, today, to what is happening in politics.
And how people are still being treated, how immigrants in this country are still being treated, and how poorly they're treated. And the racism and all that. It's just crazy. So yeah,
and it's only due to get worse. Idiots in charge of the country.
I've just seen what Jack said at the bottom, and it's made me laugh.
Oh, I haven't got there yet. So
sorry, I know. I just walked off.
Where are we? Kate said she meant Children of Paradise least favourite so far. That's fair enough. It is very toilety. And Hayley Memphis. We haven't had a lot of love for Memphis on this chat so far.
No.
Kelly. I'm weak in soul to forgive Scott for DNFing Demon. It's okay to have different tastes, but I'm a little defensive of Demon.
Agree, Kelly. Agree. Yeah.
Paris, Texas says, I'm always amazed when I look at someone's Goodreads profile and they rate everything 4 or 5 stars.
Yeah.
Not us, lot.
There's more. Either they're extremely good at picking books, or maybe they only rate the ones they like.
Oh, it's true.
Could be true, yeah. I seem to rate a lot of books 4 stars lately, but I think I'm maybe getting better at picking books that are not books that I won't like.
My husband's just bringing my tea. Love you.
Nice.
I have started DNF and average books as well.
Yeah.
Lately, if I pick up a book and I'm like, it's fine, but it's just going to be fine.
Especially if it's a library book. If it's a library book, it's easier to do.
Yeah. I love this comment in conjunction with the next one. So Jack said Scott also DNF'd Lonesome Dove, which I think we already mentioned, followed by who doesn't like Lonesome Dove?
Right.
And then she says, right.
Yeah.
We do love Scott though. We still love Scott even without that.
Oh, Scott yeah. We are Scott fans over here. He makes such great videos. Oh yeah.
he just
And
is wrong.
It was
about that.
Jack's favourite book last year.
It was my favourite book of last year. It was several people's favourite book of last year, I think.
I need to read it.
You do?
Same.
Yeah.
I need to read it too.
Yeah.
I really do. I have it on my shelves. Sonia, I told Sonia, who was in the chat earlier, that I was, or maybe she's still in the chat, but I was like, oh, I can't read that book. I don't own it. And then 3 days later, it shows up and she had bought it for me.
Oh, that's
I love that. Did you reading that, Shelley?
And she was like, here you go. And I was like, oh my God.
Now you're so
So Jim says the French have an expression, à chacun son goût. Maybe. We all have different tastes, all equally valid, even if someone hates that special book you love. Sadly
I love
true.
That is sweet.
That's a good thing.
I'm just thinking of that special book that I love. I don't want anyone to do. I recommend Away. Not many people seem to pick up my unheard of Rex. So I am new to this. True. Yeah. That's a good way to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
Jack
love
says
more.
them.
I
like
started
more-
more yesterday, guys. I started more yesterday, and
Okay,
I
do
love
you?
it so much. I literally love it so much. I don't want to read anything else. I just want to read more.
It
I
was
have
good.
read
It was
something else.
really funny.
Yeah,
really
it was
funny.
funny. Love the character of Death. Love that, Jim. Thanks for sharing. Imogen's asked which two you have left, Charlie. So you've got Trespassers, which you've just
And
started.
Stone Blind. And Stone Blind. But I think that, and to be fair, I would say like I was holding off for the good ones, but I wasn't. I tried, like I said, I started Trespassers and sort of not DNF'd it, but put it down because I didn't like it. And then Stone Blind, I actually had read one of her previous ones. What's the one she wrote before that was really good?
1,000
I can't remember.
Ships.
Yeah, I really loved that. I really enjoyed that.
I really
that
loved
was
1,000 Ships.
Yeah, but because of like I trust your judgment so much, Jim, because I do, and so I'm like, that's why I feel like out of all of them, that's obviously the last one I've got to. So yeah.
It's not a bad book. I just had really high expectations for it, and it didn't meet my expectations. So,
Well, at least my
I think
expectations
It's
were
an author that you've loved before. You expect it to be like so.
And I think maybe for me, I hadn't read these myths like so recently, and it was quite accessible, and I really, really like Natalie Haynes herself reading it. So like for me, I had really low expectations after your review, Gem. So I was all right, actually. I really enjoyed it.
I might get the audiobook for it then. If you love the audiobook, Alice, I might try and get the audiobook because I think I can get the audiobook.
Natalie Haynes was really, really humorous in the way she read it. And I think that there was humour there to be had. And I really liked the vibe she gave it.
I might do that then. I might treat myself.
I felt like there were a lot of strange voices in there, and it switched around a lot. But a lot of the strange voices that you wouldn't maybe expect, she gave them very, very angry voices, and it really, really worked.
So yeah, if I do like a combi read and have the physical copy, because I'll get the physical copy from Emily. So then I always think I need that, and then when I'm listening,
good. So Paris, Texas has said, anyone who enjoyed Demon Copperhead, did you also enjoy David Copperfield? Is it very similar? I like Barbara Kingsolver, but I'm not a Dickens fan. So I would personally say that I had no experience of Barbara Kingsolver. I am a Dickens fan, but I think that it will actually work really, really well for people who haven't read Dickens. And I think coming to it fresh, you will really, really love it because it's just a good book at the end of the day. But I also think that if you've read David Copperfield, but not hugely recently, it has like these really nice little, I was describing them as Dickensian Easter eggs. They're like, you're like, oh, that person's that person. Oh, stay away from him, sort of thing. So it added to the tension for me. I know Scott said the absolute opposite, and that was why he DNF'd it. But I found that it had even more tension in it because I had read David Copperfield, but I think if you haven't read David Copperfield, you'll just enjoy it as a good book.
I wonder if it works the opposite. So if you started with started with Demon Copperhead, if you would enjoy David Copperfield more.
Yeah, that's true.
Possibly.
I don't know. I own David Copperfield, but I haven't read it, and then I haven't read Demon Copperhead, so I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't read David Copperfield either. David, yeah.
I know you start to like get them mixed up. We'll cover one.
I don't like Dickens. I just think it's really dull. So I'm interested. Charlie and Alice like,
We love Dickens.
So I will try it at some point, having read Demon Copperhead, to see if maybe knowing like.
I think you'd enjoy it more being able to compare it to Demon, which you've really, really loved. Yeah. I think you'd enjoy it more that way.
I agree. Yeah. I think that way around. I think I agree with Alice. I think read Demon Copperhead first, and then go to not the other way around.
It would be lovely to think that it might be a gateway to Dickens for some people.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of the same themes, and I was quite shocked, really. And I'm not shocked, but it made me quite sad at the thought that in 100 years we haven't got better at taking care of orphan children in society. Like David Copperfield has a terrible time, Demon Copperhead has a terrible time, and like how can we still be failing children who have had terrible lives 100 years later after Dickens was talking about it?
Alice, you might need to move your curtain, love, because the light is.
I've got a light thing going on.
Sorry, we can't really see you otherwise.
I am going to move that.
She looks very ethereal.
You do. You look comment, and you can chat about it.
Oh dear. So Anne says, I'm enjoying Demon Copperhead and have always enjoyed Charles Dickens. If you're asking, do you have to enjoy Dickens to enjoy Damon? I don't think so. I agree.
I'd agree.
Dickens is dull and King Solver is a queen.
I agree to disagree.
Here we go. We're going to have all the Dickens love coming out now.
So Jim says David Copperfield is my favourite of Dickens novels. I think it possibly is for me as well. It's a really
great
good
expectations.
One.
Great expectations.
Yeah, I do love Great Expectations as well. But
David Copperfield was, and then when I read Great Expectations, I was like, oh, and especially Matt Lucas. When if any of you guys have got Audible, Matt Lucas narrates the audio book version. It's the best thing ever. Like even you, Jem, might like it because it's just so good. It is so good.
I highly doubt it. But
you might like it. With Matt Lucas. Do you like Matt Lucas?
I can't imagine him narrating a Dickens.
He does it brilliantly.
Here we go. Another perspective is that Fox Folio is not a Dickens fan. However, indeed not very much of a Victorian literature fan in general. Thought Demon Copperhead was excellent.
You need to read Hardy. Hardy.
Can't remember what that referred to.
Yes,
definitely.
Them.
Yeah, do pick it up. Give it a try. The next comment says, "Give it a try." So, Paris, Texas was saying, I don't know if I've clicked this one or not. I'm in that thing where last week, every time I clicked it, I was impatient and clicked it again and it went wrong. So I'm now not clicking them enough. Read Great Expectations, made it halfway through Bleak House. They were okay. But when I put them down, I was not eager to pick them back up. Can't really pinpoint why.
Yeah.
It took me.
Boring.
I know. You all just have a laugh because I think I'm still holding the record for the longest ever taken with a book on BookTube. But
Don Quixote.
It did take me a year, long before BookTube, to read Bleak House. It was my first Dickens, but it's pretty long.
You know, there's one of the books on this list that references. My brain is going to forget which one it is. People in the comments, you can say if you've read the book. Quixote. Quixote is a dog in one of the books. Actually, do you know what? I think that's the Dog of the North. There's a carrot. There's a book.
Oh.
There's a dog that's named after Don Quixote, but it's not. They can't say the name right, so they pronounce it wrong, and it's not Quixote, but they say it wrong. But yeah, so and like made me think of you.
Oh, thanks. Oh dear. I feel
love
like
that.
I read something else lately where I was like, yes, Don Quixote reference.
There was. You sent me a screenshot of it. I can't remember what it was.
I've forgotten what it was.
You were like, I've read it. Was it? It might have been Three Musketeers.
Yeah, it could have been actually.
Oh.
Might have been a reference to that early on. But I do love a reference to Don Quixote. Makes me feel good about myself. I found David Copperfield much more approachable than some of his other work. I agree. I have the audio to Demon. It is beautiful. Also good to hear. Charlie, I think you listened to it on audio, didn't you?
The audio is the narrator is amazing. Yeah.
Demon's resilience is beautiful.
It is.
Oh, yay. Yes, I'd love to do that, Jack. Jack says she'll buddy read the Poisonwood Bible with me. Yeah, yes, please. Book me in. Kit's back. Paused you for a moment to finish the Bandit Queens. Really enjoyed it. Yay.
We love that book.
Yay.
And Ange is here. Hi, Ange. And let's see. Oh, Elizabeth has something to say about Cursed Bread. I like the writing style of Cursed Bread too. That is why I'm persevering, but it is a bit odd. It seems to jump around quite strangely. That's what I was thinking. It's been quite abrupt, the jumps I felt at first. But then, of course, typically as we got towards the end of the 20 minutes, I got onto a chapter that was then suddenly like the longest chapter I'd had so far. And I was like, oh, this party's never going to end. We have got a lot of comments today. So childhood, young adult trauma and resilience seems a theme this year too. Yeah, I would agree.
With that.
And we have another Kelly.
Just joining in.
Lisa's just joining in. Love Demon and Wandering Souls. 50 pages into pod. Not sure if I should keep going. Opinions?
DNF.
If you like dolphin rape and trauma and like clam porn, then keep going.
What was it as well that Ange was saying in the last chat? She said your sonar fawns or something. What was it? Your sonar?
Sonar melons. There's a lot of sonar melons.
Yeah, sonar melons.
Shelley's face is like, what? Clam porn?
Yeah, I know you were like when we were back in the conversation a minute, and you're like, does the trees have a lot of rape in it? And I was just like, what are you talking about, girl? And then you were like, because there's a lot of dolphin rape, and I was like, ah!
Yeah.
I was just like, what is happening right now? Like,
it is trauma after trauma.
And then you were completely understand. That was mine and Alice's reaction throughout most of pod, was just like, what?
I honestly,
wow, I had no idea that dolphins were so rapey.
I honestly think if you try a chapter of it, if you try a chapter of pods like for free on like Amazon or something, then you'll be able to get a grasp on whether you like it or not.
Oh, I just think I'm already just like, no. Although would Demon Copperhead count for Misery May?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Oh yeah. Okay. I was like, maybe I'll pick it up for Misery May.
Oh yeah.
They're making me change my mind about it.
So Kate didn't want Demon and Copperhead to finish either.
Oh, that's a good. Yeah, that's a great feeling.
Jack also loved Wandering Souls. Oh no, I've just seen that Jim said if Alice wants a pronunciation challenge. I don't like a comment that starts with those words. I can cite the last 2 Georgian authors on the International Booker long list.
No thanks.
Wait, Charlie
Oh,
can
yeah,
do Nino.
guys, we bought that the
Nino.
other
I can
day.
do Nino. Yeah, Nino Haritashvili.
Well
Heritage
done.
Billy.
Yeah.
Yay. Oh, and then
Um,
it's Ekvitishvili. You know, it's okay. I'm good.
I don't want to try that one. I'll leave
I'll
that
do
one for
some
Alice.
research on those, Jim, I think.
I've not heard of Pear Life though. I'm gonna have to
No.
investigate.
Mm-mm.
Is Eighth Life the one you bought the other day, Jem?
It is the
In your
massive
backpack library?
in my backpack library.
The best book. It's the best book ever.
To be fair, after that video, so many people were like, "The Eighth Life is so good." It's like, I know.
Oh yeah, I
but
put it
it's
on
so
my
massive.
TBR. Yeah,
Yeah.
I put it on my TBR after you talked about it because I was
Did
like,
you?
oh, what? A long
Right.
book that I hadn't heard of. And then
Yeah.
I was like, I'm putting that down. Yeah.
Several
So good.
people were like, "Charlie's made me want to read this." So now you could have quite a lot of people hating your guts if it's rubbish, Charlie. Because I'll read like 1,000
No.
pages.
It does have content warnings, and there's one scene in it that I think is probably the most brutal scene I've ever read in a book, being honest. But if you can get over that one scene, so there is this one scene that is so horrific but I still love that book. I still loved it.
Yeah, it sounds brilliant.
So Jack wants Pod to go through just so she can see our salty reactions.
No.
We do have a reaction on the day of the announcement of the shortlist, don't we? So you can be
That'll be
sure
exciting.
that you will see the salty reactions if there is one to be had. And also wants Pod to go through. And Jim says
I just
peas
thought
in
I'd just
pod.
read. So me and Alice, Buddy read Pod. So I'm just going to read 2 comments that were in our WhatsApp chat so people can get like a
Oh
little
no.
bit. So Alice said, "I'm so glad I'm spending my reading time on a hermaphrodite fish who wants to sex up the whole ocean." And I said, "At least he didn't whip out his fish penis and try to rape a crab." That was literally like the whole book was like this all the way through.
That quite well encapsulates our chat. I think at one point a comment that you were obviously not reading out was something like, if anyone read this chat, they would think we have gone mad.
Yeah.
Like, because nearly all our comments were of the standard of those 2 comments, I would say.
Yeah.
Gracious.
Because there is so much fodder for it in that book.
One sec.
So yeah, Jim says peas in a pod, plodding with Pod on a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tongue twister for us. And Anne read so many books that are not on the bestseller lists. People have stopped asking me. Oh, but I think
It's nice to read backlist.
I think it's good to read.
Oh yeah.
We love a little hidden gem.
In variety. I think Stone Blind is only decent if you don't already know the myths. Knowing what was going to happen with nothing much added was really boring.
I concur.
Probably fair. I do know that myth, but I hadn't read it recently or anything, so I enjoyed it a bit. If you like Demon Copperhead and don't like Dickens, then I will probably like it too.
I really think you'll love it.
I loved 1,000 Ships, but didn't think Stone Blind held up to it at all. See, coming at it the other way round, having not read Natalie Haynes, I'm now really looking forward to 1,000 Ships, and there are other books.
1,000 Ships is brilliant. Like, it's really good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, Jack said great expectations throwdown for Gemma, but I wasn't saying that, Jack, because she's read it and she didn't like it.
Oh.
Or did Jack read it and not like it?
No, Gemma didn't like it, did you?
You didn't like Great Expectations? Oh, I didn't realise.
No.
And there's no hope for her because she also found A Christmas Carol boring. I've heard that Stone Blind has so much adolescent arguments. I think Nikki at Red.Read said that.
Well, Perseus is a bit of a moron, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's just a bit of an idiot.
I did quite enjoy, though, the aspect of like basically the two gods just laughing at Perseus continually for how stupid he was. Like I enjoyed that. Like, I wouldn't say it was a favourite book or anything. I enjoyed it for what it was. I was disappointed by Stoneblind Kelly. I have 1,000 ships on my TBR and look forward to reading it. Pandora's Jar is fab, as is her radio show.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
I know she had a radio show.
I really liked Pandora's Jar. That's her non-fiction. It's really interesting how she like ties back Greek myth, Greek women to modern day stuff. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I think I'm moving on. Pod sounds terrifying.
It does.
And Ange DNF'd Pod after watching a pod of dolphins off the coast, and I could not see them as rapists. That's fair.
I love that.
Shelley's face is like, what is this book?
I know. I'm just like, guys, I think I dodged a bullet.
There's one scene that's so horrific. Yeah, that sounds brilliant.
That's exactly
That's
what
That's every conversation with Gem.
Yeah.
Literally every conversation with you. Oh, this is really horrific. Oh, yes, please.
Yeah. This is the most depressing book I've ever read. I'll have it. Thanks.
And Glenda says, FYI, I worked for an aquarium once and our dolphin expert said that the rapes are real. She kept saying don't swim with dolphins because they will bump you and leave bruises.
To be fair, though, it's nothing compared to ducks. Ducks are brutal. Have you seen ducks? Like, it's like,
No.
honestly, they should be in prison.
Really?
Male ducks. Anyway, that's a different conversation.
Of course, I get the plot along where we're talking about is dolphin rapists.
Of course.
Did
Of course.
you on you, Shelly?
I know, you were like, "Are you even ready for this?" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't know."
Yeah, maybe we should not talk about pod anymore.
No, it's fine. Actually, I'm like, I really feel like I've saved myself a lot of time and heartbreak by not picking it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Natalie Haynes stands up for the classics on BBC. So very funny. That sounds good, Jack.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Didn't know about that. And Kate says, I love The Eighth Life so much, but I agree with Charlie. One scene will live with me forever.
It was horrific.
You really need to read it now.
I nearly after that I nearly put the book down to DNF it because of how horrific it was. But I was like, do you know what? I love the writing so much. I will carry on. And I messaged my friend Charlie, obviously, because I talked to Charlie about everything, and he's read it before. So he was like, no, just keep going. And I'm so pleased I did because it's the best book. It's just the best book.
Is it worse than that scene in The Bread the Devil Need?
It's real. It's not the same as that, but it's different. It's horrific for a different reason. It's I don't know. If I say it, it's going to sound
really hard to read.
It's to do with. It's to do with. I can't. I don't know. I don't know what I should say.
No, don't worry. It's fine.
Don't say. I was like, just wait.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Yeah, it's to do with like a pregnant woman.
Don't say it. Okay. She's like, okay. We're like, no.
Don't tell me. But
Shall we go
I will call you once I've read it.
Shall we have a plod before we all descend into?
Okay.
So yeah, do we want to do one more 20 minutes and then we'll have a little chat at the end?
I'm gonna go because I think my family needs me. But I really enjoyed this. This was great.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, it's so lovely to have you.
Yeah, this was amazing.
And well done on your performance on the challenge.
Well, thank you. That was really fun. I really enjoyed that. I'm like, I like that. I'm second, so I'm pleased with myself. So.
Thank you, Shelley. Thanks so much for coming.
Right. Okay. Enjoy your plod.
Thank you.
Bye.
Lovely talking to you. Bye.
Right.
So yeah, we do 20 more minutes and then have a little wrap-up chat. hopefully not about dolphins, because we've scared Shelly away.
You should be banned from talking about dolphins for the rest of the chat.
No more dolphins, everyone. But let us know in the chat what you're reading and how you're getting on with it, but not if it's about pod. And happy reading. Let me get the timer up. Hello.
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 How did you get on?
Good.
Any crying yet?
No, because things are all going to work out just fine.
Oh yeah.
They are.
Oh, they are they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In your edition.
Yeah, I must have the happy ending edition.
Oh, yay. We all need one of those.
Mm.
Yeah.
I want to know about Cursed Bread. I want to know your feelings on Cursed Bread. I don't care about anything else. I want to know what you think about Cursed Bread.
Cursed Bread is fine. It's just like, to be honest, I went and made a cup of tea. I got some
Yeah, I bet you
Skittles.
Probably could have had a nap. I bet you could have done a nap, couldn't you?
No, but I did only get to the end of the same chapter I was on, like, when we last left off. So it's like, I find it a bit, like, this is really picky now. I always find it a bit annoying when there's no speech marks. And there's no speech marks. But it's not like, it's not the most terrible version of that, I would say. Like, it's not one of the sort of books where they're like, loads of people are speaking and you can't even tell who it is, which drives me absolutely nuts. It's fine. Nothing's really happening yet. Like, they've been to a party. She seems a bit obsessed with this woman. I feel like maybe obsession is going to be another theme of this list. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm way off. What about you, Charlie? How was Trespasses?
I'm really enjoying it. Like, I can't believe how I felt. At the beginning, when I first tried it, I really, obviously, I read the like 1 or 2 pages, and I didn't like it. But no, I'm enjoying it. Like, I say enjoying it because, again, it doesn't feel hugely plotty, and I can see what you were saying, Gem. But because of I've gone in with lower expectations, so obviously, and especially with how I tried it, so it's surprising me. I'm not hating the writing. I love the commentary on the times in Ireland about there was an incident at a school when these children were being like, there's a priest that comes into the school and it was telling this cautionary tale about an incident with a young girl. Obviously, I'm not spoiling anything. But the kids were sort of obviously scared by this what the priest had said. But then also I wrote down. So what did I write down? It was something like that the children at these times. So is it children here knew too much, and I just think that commentary is just so like it's kind of just so beautifully done. And it's very, very. I know it's very slow, and I can see what you were saying, Jem. But and like there's Kushner's mum is an alcoholic. This isn't a spoiler because I feel like from the first page you can pretty much read that. And that's like kind of, it's just, I like it.
Good. Did you like the colony, Charlie?
No. No. I didn't dislike it. I found it to be tepid, like milk.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. Because I had similar reading experiences with the colony, so I wondered if that was one that you really liked, but maybe not. No. Interesting.
But it could be because I really disliked it when I started it, and then now and also don't forget I've read all these other crazy ass books from this list, and so this is like I'm actually been able to read it. I can understand it, and there's some themes in there I'm highlighting quite a lot. I like the commentary. I
feel like you're coming back to something sort of sensible and ordinary after like lots of crazy books.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is, Alice. That's exactly what it is.
I can see that. So in the comments, Anne thinks it would be funny if Pod won.
And I think that would not be funny. I think that would be devastating.
It would be very
Pod won over Demon Copperhead. I would be fuming. Beyond fuming.
I don't think there would be a Plodalong next year if that happens.
It's different judges though every year, to be fair. So.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
But I never like the winner, so it is a risk.
Jack has told us off for scaring Shelly off.
She's like, dolphins, run away.
We thought I'd often talk.
It's so lovely. It was lovely chatting to Shelly.
I think Anne's had to go because her partner needs
Oh, bye,
bless her.
Anne.
Paris, Texas is reading Silas Marner. I started Middlemarch a couple of times without success, so I hope to ease myself in this way. I'm liking it well enough. I would like to do that because Middlemarch is one of those books that I just don't think I will ever read because it's massive. I perceive it as boring, like I can't help it. I feel like already got this preconceived notion that I'm going to find it boring. So I want to start with Silas Marner, one of her smaller ones, and see if I can ease in.
Yeah.
I've never read any George Eliot. Have you read any George? You read Middlemarch, didn't you, Jem?
I haven't
No,
read any.
I read The Mill on the Floss last year,
Oh, that's
which,
great.
to be fair, is quite commonly known as one of her worst ones.
Yeah.
But
I think
Emily made me
Middlemarch.
read it.
I think the problem I'm having with Middlemarch is that, like, I've watched my mum with it. Like, it's one of those books where she's gone back to it again and again and tried to read it again and again. And then I think, like Victober, not last year, the year before, she was like, right, I'm going to actually read it. And she did. But because of all those attempts, I'm like, yeah, that's going to be really, really boring.
What did she think of it then at the end of it? What did she think
She
of
did
it?
like it. I think it's one of those books, like with a lot of Victorian books, where there's like obviously multiple plot strands. And I think she really liked like this main character woman who is like the key person, the main person, and can't remember her name. And she really, really liked all the plot elements with her. She wasn't really interested in, I think it's like sort of more political details of the time, and like the Countryside Act or something. She found all that a bit dull and just wanted to know about like this main woman. But she did get through it and she did enjoy it in the end. So Jack says she has Silas Marner on her TBR as well. I had intended to read it for Victober last year as my first Eliot. I hope you are enjoying it.
Next year, Jack, next year.
Next year. It's always another Victober. Kit says Demon Cophead didn't make me cry at all, and I'm a crier. I did cry a couple of times.
I don't know whether I did actually, but I was listening to the audiobook, and also I was quite early doors. I think was I still recovering from COVID. I feel like mine was quite early, like it was kind of your stage of recovering from COVID. My brain couldn't cope with it, and like in terms of like crying, because you're already.
I feel a bit cried out from Goodnight, Mr. Tom. Anyway,
yeah. I think where Mr. Tom was like ugly sobbing like several times throughout the book for me. Demon was more like I had a few tears a few times. Yeah. Like it wasn't ugly sobbing. I was sad for him, but it wasn't ugly sobbing.
I definitely
had a few times where I've been like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
Bye, Kit. Sorry, just waving to her them before they go.
I wondered what was going on then.
I was waving to Kit before they go because I don't want to. So.
Yeah, it does say gotta go. The kids need feeding. See you all soon. Bye, Kit.
Yeah, blooming kids.
Always feeding.
I know they're always on the one. Honestly.
That's why I fed mine the dinner at lunchtime.
Oh, good thinking.
So Kelly has switched from Pod to the Book of Mother. Has anyone read it? It took me a while for me to like Trespasses, but in the end I loved it.
Nice.
I have not read the Book of Mother. I haven't heard of that one.
No, who's the author?
I've heard of it, but I haven't read it.
So Jack says, I remember a story about my granny in Belfast talking about someone who had died, and my cousin, who was 6 or 7 at the time, asked who had shot them. Those kids did know too much.
Yeah.
Very, very sad.
Yeah.
Convinced my book club to read I'm a Fan, so I can read it. 2 birds, 1 stone. I like the thinking Imogen.
I think half of them will thank you and half of them will hate you from the reviews that have been coming in.
I agree with you.
I says, what do people think of Homesick? Unsure if I get it. I haven't read it yet.
I thought it was okay. So I know loads that. So I know Sarah from Your True Shelf loved Homesick. But yeah, for me, it was kind of like middling of the pack for me. It's good. It's kind of, so if you've read Ian Lee's, me and Gemma will know this reference, The Book of Goose, it's kind of that style, I would say. So yeah, it's more character than it is plot. It was interesting, but I wouldn't. Yeah.
I've heard a couple of things recently that makes me think that I might really like Homesick. Like, I don't want to get my hopes up, obviously, and I've got very low expectations of it, but I think I might be into like the whole translator vibe, because I think there's like a lot of stuff I've heard on language and her being a translator, so I don't know if I might vibe with that.
I did like it. I didn't dislike it, but I feel like it came in at a point because then there are lots of like it because there's other books I like more. That's basically what then happens. Yeah.
So Jack says Middlemarch is Shelley's book of the year so far. Oh,
Yeah,
shame
Sandy really loved it as well.
We talked about it after she'd gone.
I know. But I've seen a lot of positive reviews. Anne really enjoyed it as well, didn't she?
Anne finished it recently, actually.
Yeah, a lot of people giving it good reviews.
Just read my comment back to clarify the person who died hadn't been shot, but my cousin just assumed they had been. It was the 80s in Belfast, grim times.
Yeah.
Did get that.
I did
also asks, did you like The Dog of the North?
I did like it, but I can't remember it. So I feel like when that happens, because like, we're reading a lot of books at the moment anyway, aside from all of the long list, and then we've got all our books from Transgalabra, etc. And it's just like basically as soon as I finished it, I couldn't remember any of it. So therefore, when I do that, even though I loved it, when I'm in my ratings, initially when I finished it, I kind of had put it higher, but every single week, like every single day, even the more it fades, I'm like, well, I have to put it down because if it's not sticking in my brain, then So, even though I
totally get what you mean. Like, you can really enjoy a book for what it is while you're listening to it or reading it, but then if it's a book that you put down and then it's gone, like, is that a great book for you? No.
That's like Memphis.
I like it last.
Memphis, I didn't like. I say enjoy because obviously Memphis was horrific, but I thought Memphis was good when I read it. I may have even given it 5 stars initially, but that's like right down the bottom of my pile because I just really can't remember anything either. So yeah.
Shame. The Book of Mother is by Violaine Huseman. It's short and I'm enjoying it so far. Translated from French. Coming of age about a daughter raised by an extremely damaged mother. Sounds like a Gemma book.
Sounds like Gemma catnip.
Translated tick. Coming of age tick. Damaged mother tick. Yes, please.
You're going to be writing down all these books, Gem. Everyone's giving you miserable recommendations.
I've got so many great recommendations. It's how I'm going to get to them all is the problem.
Ange enjoyed Middlemarch. She broke it down into the separate books rather than just reading it all the way through. I think that might be a good approach, a good way to go, Ange.
That's how I read The Eighth Life, actually, because The Eighth Life is in different sections, and that's how I read The Eighth Life. So that's good. And if you think about it, because it's only 100 pages, each section is 100 pages, so it's really digestible that way. I think any big book like that is a good tip, I think.
It's on script, that book, and it was longlisted for the International Booker. I don't know what year. 2021 maybe. So it's saved. I've saved it.
Jack says I want to read Middlemarch if I enjoy Silas Marner. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I had the exact same experience with Memphis, gave it 5 stars, but can't remember any of it now.
Exactly. And then you can't rate it highly, can you? Because like aside from all the author stuff that everyone like said, that's not the reason it's the bottom. It's because I can't remember it. So and that's going to have to be the same for Dog of the North. I can't even remember the title.
And Jack, yes, that is the one.
Yes,
the one.
Naughty author.
Yeah. I think we have reached the end of the comments. Oh, no, I just spoke too soon. There's another comment. Yes, I heard about that from Robert.
Yeah.
So
Disgusting behaviour.
yeah.
Drama.
Yeah, we're at the end of the comments, and we've had a good plod.
Thank you, Alice, for hosting, and especially whilst you're poorly, you've done amazing. We think you've done amazing. You're our hero.
Thank you for coming. No, it was fine. I think I'm on the mend. It's been good to chat. It's a nice change from just laying on the sofa.
Sitting on the sofa.
It's been a
We've been so
hectic
worried
week.
about you, haven't we? We've been so worried about you all week, haven't we, Gem? And like
We have.
Oh, but I'm all right. I'll muddle through. Jack says awful. Kelly says great chatting with you all today.
Oh, thanks, Kelly.
And Jack says great plod and chat, everyone. So thanks everyone for coming, and thank you to Shelly, who was our lovely guest. Yes. She will be linked in the description down below. If you don't follow Shelly, I can't think of anyone who wouldn't be following Shelly. If you don't, go and check out her channel. It's wonderful, and we're very lucky to have had her as our guest. Thank you, ladies, for supporting, and thanks everyone for coming. And we'll see you all. Oh, I didn't say when we would see you all again.
Yeah,
and everything. So the next vlog is next Sunday at 2 o'clock. It will be on Gemma Books channel. I don't know why I've written that in the title.
Really? It's on my channel.
I think so.
Yes,
it is. Okay.
As far as I know. We'll let you know if there's any change of plan. And our special guest will be Camilla from Has to You Books.
Yay!
So we're very excited about that one too. And we'll see you all then. See you next Sunday.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye. Ooh, clicking the button. Bye.